curriculum doesn't just last longer for you, my friend. It gives other gadgets like this guy extra power. Whoa there. Powerful stuff.
Yes.
A
No.
house or a laptop? Which one do you think is worth more? Well, definitely not the house, because it...
Minecraft lore is very mysterious and ambiguous. There are tens, if not hundreds, of different theories, and new explanations for game mechanics arise all the time. But above all, one question about Minecraft remains unanswered. A looming mystery that is arguably the most important thing in the whole story of the game. Let's assume for a second there was once an ancient race of builders like you and I who constructed all the structures we see in the world. They made great technological advancements and shaped the world forever with their buildings. However, they're not here anymore. We are the only players in this vast world. The ancient builders underwent some sort of extinction, a catastrophic event that drove them to be no more. But what? What could have possibly happened to this superior race of ancient people that made them go extinct? Well, that is the question I'll be answering today. However, before we begin, if you do end up enjoying the video, then please consider subscribing. As you can probably tell, we're getting very, very close to 1 million subscribers, and it would be incredible to reach that before Christmas and before 2021 ends. My last lore-related video attracted 540,000 unique viewers, and if even half of those people subscribed, we'd get to 1 million in no time. If you find that you aren't subscribed and end up enjoying the video and you want to say you were here before 1 million, I'd greatly appreciate it if you could subscribe. I can't do it without your help, and I promise I'll make it worth your time. But with that said, thank you so much, and I hope...
Dislike it, or you could. You can do what you want. Okay,
you enjoy. While everyone has a different version of Minecraft lore in their head, there's one main aspect that almost every prominent theory agrees upon: the ancient race of Minecraft builders. A group of people just like you and I that constructed all the structures we see in-game. While there's obviously no verbal confirmation for this theory, it would explain so much and things would just make a lot less sense without it. For instance, if there wasn't an ancient race, how would all the structures get here? They certainly don't just appear randomly. So with that assumption in mind, the next logical question is, where are they now? A technologically advanced race doesn't just disappear off the face of the earth. Something happened. Some extinction event that caused them to seemingly vanish before we, the player, got here. And this is where theories begin to diverge. To my knowledge, there are 3 leading theories as to what happened to this race. In this video, I intend to examine all of them and look for evidence and flaws proving and disproving these theories. The 3 theories as to what happened are as follows. The first is the creation of the Wither, the second is some sort of plague, specifically a zombie outbreak, and the third is some sort of world war or man-induced conflict. These are all somewhat different, but each have merit in their own right. Let's begin with the most popular one. The Wither. This is by far the most popular of the Wither 3 and is often talked about by MatPat, myself, and more recently Sipover. It pretty much argues that at some point in time, the ancient builders, while conducting experiments, accidentally or purposefully summoned the Wither, a destructive behemoth that drove them to extinction. The first strong piece of evidence in accordance with this theory is an anecdote from a book, the Mob Bestiary. The Mob Bestiary is an official book released by Mojang and is the closest thing we'll get to actual written lore. In the section on the Wither, we get this little quote. There is something to be said about the curiosity of explorers that leads them to try anything, even if it ends in their doom. A group of settlers tried to recreate what they saw in the painting, using 4 blocks of soul sand and 3 skulls of the Wither skeleton. They found terrible success, and so the battle had begun. So an official lore book about Minecraft outright states the ancient builders summoned the Wither. Well, that just straight up answers our question, right? Not exactly, because while we do now know the ancient builders definitely did encounter the Wither, we don't know if it wiped them out. The Wither is by no means an easy boss to combat, but wiping out an entire race of people? I'm not sold on that just yet. Attentive viewers might have also noticed and questioned the line about the painting. What exactly did the builders try to recreate? Well, this actually raises way more questions than answers. In the intro paragraph on the Wither, we get this mysterious text. Its existence was theorized by scholars before it was witnessed. Soon after, a bizarre painting began to appear, showing a T-shaped group of brownish blocks topped by 3 white-eyed heads. Thus, the search began for information as to what this creature may be. Okay, who the heck made a painting of the Wither before it was even summoned? Regardless, I'll revisit this later, as it isn't actually that important to our overall goal. Another piece of evidence in favor of this theory is the condition and location of the nether fortresses and strongholds. Nether fortresses are built high up in the air, and their bridges look like they were hit with some sort of explosive. Maybe they were built as a place of defense to guard against Wither attacks. Similarly, the stronghold is built deep underground in a place where the Wither probably wouldn't get to that easily. The builders could have been using it as a place of refuge while working on the end portal. But this theory isn't without flaws. For one thing, the Wither isn't that hard to kill. If you had a whole race of technologically advanced builders, it's hard to believe that with all of that diamond armor, they still couldn't defeat a singular Wither. However, a counter-argument to this is maybe more than one was summoned, for some reason or another. The second contradicting aspect of this theory is the aftermath. As you probably know, when a Wither kills a mob, a Wither Rose is dropped or placed. Players are no exception to this rule. If the Wither did end up killing the ancient builders, why are there no Wither Roses left behind as evidence? Furthermore, how did the villagers survive? In a story by the game theorists that I agree with, they point out how the villagers are most likely descendants of the ancient builders. If that's the case though, how did they end up surviving the Withers? It seems unlikely that they would remain while the other builders got wiped out. The final problem I have with this theory is, where is the Wither now? The Wither is one of the few mobs that doesn't despawn even if you unload its chunk, so theoretically it should still be somewhere out in the wild if the builders failed to kill it, which it isn't. So there's definitely an argument to be made, but I'm not sold on it just yet. But that's just the first theory. Let's now turn our attention to the plague.